Hello everyone and welcome back to Hell Yeah Gaming, Jeff Rambles, where today just gonna go ahead and probably won't be as long as the usual Jeff Rambles stuff. It's probably not gonna get to like that 10-minute mark I usually shoot for, but we'll see what happens. So today, first thing I want to talk about is I've been sick. I haven't been like super sick or anything, but like I've been just sick enough, just enough to make everything a major inconvenience. So that's not been super fun. So as you can imagine, that's affected my productivity on bigger projects, Tournament of Links, of course the continued very slow moving Fighter's Passage and everything else. So I've just been feeling cruddy and not wanting to do anything. So the last couple of videos that I uploaded, I barely even wanted to go put in the work just to upload them onto the site. I'm not sure if I'm better yet today or not. Jury's still out, kind of waffling on that a bit, but we will see how things go. In other news, just some fun discussion stuff. So I will not be giving any kind of spoilers, none whatsoever. But you know, I've been keeping up with Jacksepticeye's playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2, and just you know, that finished going up yesterday. Watched that, and wow, I have a lot of opinions, and I'm still trying to process a lot of what I saw. I decided it was like, even though I loved The Last of Us, I wasn't gonna be playing this game because of one very specific thing, and that was when they announced that you would have to be killing dogs, and not like mutated dogs, monster dogs, or wild dogs trying to hunt and eat you. Just actual dogs that are pets to other people. They're good boys and girls who love their people and their people love them. That for me on was a deal breaker. So I decided I wasn't gonna pick it up and play it. Like I get The Last of Us is all about being dirty and ultra grim, but that's where I drew the line, and I can handle a lot, but I did not want to involve myself in that. But yeah, so I watched all through Jacksepticeye's playthrough, and it, for the first time in many years, I legitimately had some nightmares 2 nights ago over things that happened in his second to last episode, which had a lot of big climactic stuff going on. And of course, again, I can't say what all that was, but I legitimately had nightmares afterwards. And I have to say, like, a lot of the huge conflict between Ellie and this other woman, Abby, I was legitimately rooting for Abby for most of it, because Ellie just straight up went off the deep end, and I feel like a lot of what Abby did was, if not over the line, then in how she did it, still at least justified in what she did. That get the two of them at each other's throats, and Abby's reaction with everything that she goes through. I was really rooting for her and feeling like Ellie was like, both of course were shades of gray, but Ellie was like the actual bad guy in the situation. Up until one specific moment, which immediately made me throw that out the window. Just for anybody who knows who's played it or has seen it, it's when Abby says the line, good. You should know everything around context of that. That completely had me just throw everything out the window, all the rooting for her that I had. But everything going on in that area actually legitimately gave me a bad, maybe it's just the imagery combined with the fact that I'm sick, because, you know, when you're sick, you don't always get the best rest, and you have weird dreams and things happen. So maybe it's the two combined, but for the first time in a long time, like, a piece of media actually gave me nightmares. Which I guess means it had an emotional impact. It did its job, so it was very powerful. But also, you know how a lot of people like to make fun of the last Lord of the Rings movie for saying it has like 5 different endings? It's just like, oh, here's the ending. Nope, it's still going. Okay, here's the ending. No, it's still going. Same thing. Same thing with The Last of Us Part 2. It feels like you have your big climax, everything is winding down, then it keeps going, and then something else happens, and it keeps going, and it feels like it's still winding down, but then something happens, and so I have a lot of issue with the pacing for the final act, for the last third of the game, I'd say. But I mean, I struggle to say how I would rank it in terms of, because let's be real, The Last of Us is a cinematic experience. Yes, it's a video game, but it's very cinematic. It's very movie-like. So it's something you don't necessarily have to play in order to get a feel for and fully understand. So but I still struggle to understand like how I would rank it, because it did what it was set out to do. It disturbed me in ways it probably very much intended to, and it absolutely got emotional reactions from me. I don't know if they were all the ones that they wanted to or not, but it's a game and a series that has always been trying to be very, I don't want to say visceral, but very, very real in how dirty and how dark it is, and how awful things are with it. Funny, I said I probably wasn't going to be making my 10-minute mark, and I'm at just about to reach 8 minutes right now. So those are my thoughts on it for the most part. Like, I don't know how I would rank it, what I would kind of rating I would give it. I would say, if you know The Last of Us 1, you know the kind of tone that you'd be going for in this. You know, don't get attached to anybody, because it's the kind of world where shit happens and people can just die for no reason, because that's just how the world is at this point. So setting that all aside, one other thing I did want to talk about, although briefly, Ghost of Tsushima is almost upon us, and I am so excited. I talked about it in a previous Jeff Rambles about my most anticipated games of 2020. Like, I talked about The Last of Us Part 2 in that as well, but I ended up dropping that for the dog thing. Ghost of Tsushima, we're so close to, just like a couple weeks at this point, I think. I'd have to double check the date specifically, but we're right there, and oh my god, I think that's there's not a lot of games that I stream, or because I really do VODs, video on demand recordings. This is one that I might have to just like jump on and stream if I can, and that'll be what I'll be doing there. The setting, the gameplay that we've seen so far, everything looks gorgeous. The whole setup is tremendous. That you have, you know, basically, like, to oversimplify things, like samurai and ninja mode for gameplay, and the swordsmanship has multiple different styles, like not just move sets to combine, but actual different styles that are undoubtedly all gonna have, you know, good and bad points against different types of enemies and things. Oh my god, I am so excited. So keep an eye out for that. My nose is starting to get really congested and backing up into my throat, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this rambling session, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Whatever games you're looking forward to in the rest of 2020, I hope that they meet your expectations and we can all give them a great big hell yeah.